About 3 months.
Months?
Did I hear you correctly?
I could probably go without my phone until lunchtime because during school I can't go on my phone. So yeah. I don't have a phone, so let's do this based on my computer. I go without it for like school hours anytime I'm not home.
A couple days at the very least.
Change over time, the different media you use. It's going to depend on the person you ask. So if you're asking a younger person, they're probably going to say, well, maybe now I use the iPhone, whatever the latest one is, 10 or something, versus the iPhone 3 when they were young or just they were kids, right? Well, say for myself, I grew up in an age when everyone still had telephones and VHS, and I was born in the early 80s. So that kind of dates me. You can ask other people who were born earlier than myself, and they'll have a different answer. So I remember even in the 90s, getting into the early 2000s, it was very common to pick up the phone. You just call your friend and you talk for hours. That was normal. And so now you're liable to send them a message or even tag them in a photo, or you're able to send them a quick message or post to the wall or a tweet or something. So it has changed. I'm a bit old-fashioned and I just like to call people, but I'm finding that now people are switching to text and people just would prefer to not just call each other. So I think that's changed for me, messaging and texting more than calling.
No, not really, because the only thing I ever do is on my phone, so there you go.
Sometimes. I mean, it does help me focus too, because like when I'm doing my homework, if I put on music, it helps me concentrate. But if like I have to do something like that my mom tells me, and then I just like sometimes forget about it because of my
Kind of like what you said. My computer distracts me a lot, but it also helps me research stuff and do my homework. But it can also be very distracting.
It distracts me when I'm listening to lyrical music, but not when I'm listening to music without words that I'm focusing on instead of writing. Because then I write down what I'm listening to instead.
Me too.
Good job.
To me, it is a way to connect with people, but it is also a way for me to influence, like say for example, if I have values, in my case for example, like I'm concerned about say climate change or the world or poverty or injustice, then I can use this platform to connect with more people and to get those ideas out there. And the fact that the company is using my data as other people's data to conglomerate that, and they're looking, what are the values of people in our society? They're able to say, oh, this person is very concerned about, let's say, climate change. And then that goes into their data, and they use that. So my worldview and the things I'm concerned about are then able to be brought forward. So it allows an influence.
4 or 5 on the average day.
Well, when I get home from school, I probably go on my phone until like supper time, or whenever like if we decide to go somewhere for like supper or something. So yeah.
I'm not cutting that out.
I'm great. To be honest, I just go on it whenever I A, want to during my free time, or B, when I need it to do work.
Probably like 18 hours a day, because when I'm at school, I don't use it, and then I sleep listening to music, so
I
guess
do
that
that
technically
too.
counts a little bit, but I usually stay up till 3 to 4 in the morning to play on it. I need help.
Well, I'm good.
So a positive would probably be easier and quicker communication, but a negative would definitely be the risk of identity theft is like higher online.
Positive would be being able to talk to your friends differently. Yeah, I said that already. And the negative would probably be the same thing as her. Like somebody could scam you. Money could get taken away from you.
Oh, to be honest, I can't think of anything that's like not already said in these two. They say a lot.
If someone were to move away, you could stay in contact with them using social media. And a negative, well, there's weird people on the internet.
Yes.
Okay, without technology. I couldn't find my phone yesterday. It was awesome. My wife was like, "Hey, we're actually interacting and talking," and it's great. I find that I am on my phone too much, and I do use it to connect, and I do. But it's a form of connecting with people that's also a disconnect in other ways. So, I think I perhaps idealize what a life without technology would be like. I think it would be hard in some ways, but I think my life would be better in other ways. So it's kind of a double-edged sword.